Hi everyone, it's Max from Small Fish Collective. I just want to clear out or make some piece of content about this because we get this question way too often on our Facebook group Builder Up Boss, and it's something that I understand it's hard, but we're never gonna say it'd be something different. And this is about your Etsy shop. I know it's scary. A lot of you have Etsy shops, have had them for several years. Your whole business is built around it, and often will tell you, if you do change, first of all, you should change to Etsy. Etsy is garbage for many reasons, but what we do tell you, especially, well, I guess what I say most, is when you do switch from Etsy to, I don't know why you wouldn't switch to Shopify. When you do switch from Etsy to Shopify, it's very important to delete your Etsy account. Really, really, just delete it. Dory has a great way of pulling all the emails, the customer emails that you had from your Etsy account on her blog at builderupboss.com, and just take all those email all your clients, say that your new email address, your new domain name is yourshop.com, and then shut the Etsy down. The reason that I give you, and I understand it's scary when you don't understand what SEO is, but Etsy as in itself, as a website, has many advantages, and one of them is that it's a very long-standing website. It's existed for a very long time. It has extremely high traffic, and for many other reasons, that gives it extremely high domain authority. And in the world of SEO, of search engine optimization, every website, if I overly simplify things, but just so you guys can understand, every domain has a score, a fictitious score. No one really sees it, but we kind of do it to give us, examples, because the algorithm is so complicated. The human mind really can't understand it, so we simplify things to have points of reference. But every domain out there has a score, and that score is one of the main things that Google takes into account when they when they rank you in their search rankings. And Etsy has one of the highest ones, of all websites. As any big marketplace like that, as any kind of Facebook has a very high domain authority, as you can imagine. eBay, PayPal, all these companies that have a lot of users and a lot of transactions happening on their site, obviously will become a respected site, a site that Google considers a good answer. And Etsy happens to have become a massive, massive catch-all. So where some, if you went to a store that was what is that, Bob Nevada Golf or whatever, they would have a very high domain authority in anything golf related, but you couldn't really search for anything else and find Bob's Nevada Golf, high in the rankings. But Etsy is this weird situation where they sell anything right now. They sell a lot of different things. So they rank up on a lot of different weird, search queries. And when you start a new website, a brand new website that you just registered, it's very difficult to have a good domain authority. It takes a little bit of time to build up. And it's especially hard if you're fighting against another, website that has similar content, that has the same products, that has the same name, but has a massively higher domain authority already. And your Etsy profile by default will have a higher domain authority. However, down the line, yes, this is an advantage for shops who are just starting, for new businesses. Etsy is I'll write a longer blog post about this, but it's a great place to test out new ideas, to see if there is a marketplace for this. But in the end, it's just not sustainable for a bunch of different reasons. I'll just give you a few quick ones. But yeah, things like the fact that you can't track your visitors. Etsy has analytics that are absolute garbage. Convinced they're just straight up false. You can hook up your Google Analytics to Etsy, but they only allow tracking to the site, not once they don't show you what product we're interacting with. It's useless. It's oh yeah, you can have Usain Bolt on your national team, but he doesn't have any legs. have fun. And it's just like, it's ridiculous. And the fees that they charge you are absolutely insane, like really, really insane. And you just have no control over, what you want to do with your site. You just, whenever a product is free, don't look around, you're the product. And this is definitely Etsy's case, and it's just not a good way to build a sustainable business. To me, the rule is once you have 300 orders, get the hell out. You've proven that there's a market for this. Collect all your email addresses and leave. Make your own site, because you'll be much more able to sustain the business down the line. With Etsy, you're just going to be stunted in your growth over and over and over and over again, and you're going to be a slave to someone else's arbitrary algorithm. You think Google's search algorithm are complicated and whatever. At least I can figure them out. Etsy just doesn't release any information. They don't give you any information as to how their search algorithms work. It's 100% proprietary, and they don't give you any information on how it is, because they want to control it. They're a publicly traded company. They've been for several years now. They're on the stock market. They used to be a great little startup that cared about makers and all that stuff, but now they have shareholders. And I'm sorry, but they care about their shareholders a lot more than they care about you. And the problem with having a Shopify and an Etsy is that for the longest time, you're just going to be cannibalizing your SEO efforts. You're going to be in a situation where you're always fighting against that huge other search result that will always trump your website. And it's going to send people to Etsy. And down the line, you don't want that, because you don't have control over the way they bought. You don't see what made them not buy. You can't you can collect their email, but it's kind of it's not as good as what you can do on Shopify by any stretch of the imagination. There's a lot more fees in general. It's not a good idea. You just don't want that. So when you delete your Etsy, it's not automatic, but at least Google stops indexing that page, and your website at least has a fighting chance now. So please, if you consider switching from Etsy to Shopify, which you shouldn't just consider, you should just do it. Most definitely, you want to delete your Etsy account afterwards. It is just SEO suicide. If you're trying to do both at the same time, it's just not going to work. And I highly, highly recommend that anyone really just go straight to Shopify route. Even the case that I made of testing out a product on Etsy, it's you can do the same on Shopify. You'll have better data. You'll have and it's $30 a month. Just do it. Just straight up do it. So yeah, I just wanted to answer that question really quickly. I know you guys must have a bunch of other questions. I want to do a more detailed piece on this subject, but I just wanted to have a piece of content that we can link to whenever that SEO, Etsy, Shopify kind of question comes up. If you have any questions, just link them in the comments, and I'll try to answer when I have a moment. But yeah, bye.